Up next on UBC, brought to you by
Airtel. Download Airtel TV to watch and support Ugandan talent on The Voice Africa every Sunday at 8 p.m.
A very good afternoon to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to our lunchtime news this Thursday, the 13th of April 2023. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. The Inspector General of Government, Betty Kamya, has called on Muslims to exhibit humility even after the holy month of Ramadan. Kamya was addressing Muslims at the iftar dinner organized by the IGG's office in Kampala.
In this Ramadan period, Muslims exhibit high level of humility coupled with charity and discipline. The Inspector General of Government, Bet Olive Namisango Kamya, want Muslims to sustain behaviors exhibited in Ramadan. This was at the iftar dinner organized by the IG office for fasting Muslim community.
About goodness, they talk about kindness, they talk about compassion, they talk about generosity. They talk about forgiveness. They talk about humility. None of those. They even talk about, yes, I said generosity, giving to people in need. And that's exactly what my faith also talks about.
The Uganda Muslim Supreme Council was represented by the first Deputy Mufti, Sheikh Abdallah Semambo, who preached about charity and brotherhood in this contemporary society.
Out of there are so many benefits, because one of the benefits, it's a training session whereby you learn how to control yourself. You abstain from friendly activities to mankind. You learn how to control yourself, even if you are alone in your room. You say, I'm fasting, so I will not take anything, even if I'm not in front of anybody here, because I'm sure that the Almighty is seeing me, is following me.
Serving iftar meal to any fasting Muslim is a means of earning reward and also doubles the reward of your own fast. Abdul Nasiri Lubwama for UBC.
Uganda Human Rights Commission with partners will hold the second national conference on human rights to educate human rights to adequate food in Uganda from the 18th to the 19th of April 2023 at Makerere University. The Director Monitoring and Inspection Uganda Human Rights Commission, Ruth Sechindi, says that the conference will focus on generating policies and laws for sustainable transformation, the right to adequate food in the country.
This two-day conference, slated to convene at Makerere University, Yusuf Lule Central Teaching Facility Auditorium, will be held on 18th to 19th April 2003 and will attract international, regional, and national experts on the right to adequate food, as well as the local populace from districts, regions, and other persons that are most vulnerable to derogation of this right. The conference is also intended to take stock of the progress made towards the implementation of the right to adequate food in Uganda, with particular focus on the development and implementation of relevant policies and legal frameworks, institutional mechanisms, and programs that support the realization of this right. Positioning the human right to adequate food and harnessing inclusivity in the food system and transformation agenda of Uganda.
Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development has engaged with valuers from other ministries and agencies to review the drafted Uganda National Valuation Standards. The draft is to look into ethical code of standards to be followed by land surveyors and technical other issues.
So government has been suffering without a standards to follow. Now with this discussion and the valuation bill which will come out and fully discussed by Parliament, at least finally we shall have a standard to follow. We shall have a checkpoint, look at it and say, well, this is it. As some discussants said, you will not have an absolute equal value for each valuer. But there is a margin of error. To 1.5 over 0.0 margin of difference, not a difference of 100%, you know. So there, government now will move better. We shall know that now we have a value which is really value as defined by the existing law, for example, on land, as valued by the international standards, embedded in our own law this time.
Government of Uganda, in partnership with the Indian government, has established National Forensic Science University to equip security personnel with specialized training in forensic scientific methods of investigation. The President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was represented by 3rd Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama at the function in Jinja at the Uganda Rapid Development Capability Center, Gaddafi Barracks.
Opportunity to thank the government of the Republic of India.
Of the National Forensic Sciences University at the Uganda Rapid Deployment Capability Center, Gaddafi Barracks, in Jinja, was officiated by the 3rd Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama, who represented President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Of 130 acres of land on a 99-year lease has been secured in Jinja, Uganda, for the construction of the permanent campus.
The university is established on the partnership basis between the government of Uganda and the Indian government. The university will create forensic and allied experts to manage complex security situations.
The campus gives Uganda the opportunity to create a pool of experts in the various fields in forensic sciences and hence build the country's capacity in forensics and allied sciences.
The Indian delegation was led by the India's external minister and committed to further bilateral defense relations between Uganda and India.
India's National Forensic Sciences University is opening its campus in Uganda, partnering with the Ugandan People's Defense Forces. This is the first foreign campus of the National Forensic Sciences University. Even more important, it is actually the first government university of India opening a campus anywhere abroad.
UPDF is set to leverage on this university to facilitate technological transfer and enhance defense capabilities for emerging security threats.
It will plug the gap of shortage of forensic experts in our country and in the region. Provide capabilities that will make Uganda and the region safer. Provide opportunity to advance in forensic sciences, crime management, and policy formulations.
The established National Forensic Sciences University will super generation management of contemporary security, leveraging on science and technology. Abdul Nasir Lukomwa for UBC.
Corporate governance consultant Japheth Kato has advised entrepreneurs to ensure their entities are run on the principles of corporate governance if they are to grow and make profit. He said corporate governance is concerned with holding the balance between economic and social goals, as well as between individual and communal goals. He was speaking during a public lecture organized by the School of Business, Micheal University, on corporate governance.
You are going to give detailed introduction of him. Thank you very much.
That is our purpose. You will find that in governance these days, organizations are talking a lot about purpose. What are you there? We had visions, missions, values. As you enter the building, you see them facing you again. For those who have been around, that's a new development. I mean, a long time ago, you didn't enter an office, and the first thing that greeted you was a vision and mission. But they were there, but they were not displayed. But now they're talking about purpose. What are you there for? What are you there for? You are there. What are you there for? You're not there to tax people. You know, you may do the job, but what are you there for? Yeah? You are there to collect revenue, to develop the nation with us. PPE, what are you there for? You're not there to make life different for those trying to do procurement, but you're trying to do procurement in a corporate governance and give everybody a fair chance to do it. You know, keeping DIY auditing so that we can rely on the accounts and so on. But the other, right from the start, although we call it corporate governance, really now we are talking about organizational governance. It is not the corporate sector only. It is university governance, it is NGO governance, it is church governance, it is political governance, and then in politics and so on, you can get Mabati gates, you can get all these type of things. But it's all about governance. So the framework, it has for efficient use of resources. And we're talking about competitiveness here. Equity, accountability, stewardship of this sort of things. So that is really the old Cadbury.
But for you, the students, be attentive, because you are listening to one of the best experts in this area of corporate governance. So that even when you leave this university, you will make good use of the knowledge that you get here.
Corporate governance is a very important subject. Not that it applies to the private sector or to companies or listed firms in that context, but also it can be used as a driver in other sectors as well.
The Rotary Club of District 2913 has partnered with the Ministry of Education to enhance children's literacy skills while at home and at school. The district governor, Rotary Club of the district, Mike Sebalu, said that the project also aims at providing quality integrated basic education and literacy enhancement program services to the children.
We appreciate and inclusion. That's why we found it necessary not to leave any section of our community out of the education programs that we promote and we champion. People with the disability and the challenges, they need more of education than even the able ones, because already they are disadvantaged. So if you are disabled and you are ignorant, and you really see the magnitude of challenges that you would be live with. You can't walk properly, but you can't even read. Even when you see a sign that you are turning right, you can't. You may end up crawling to the wrong place, end up suffering even more. So the best thing that we can do in doing good in the world is to empower them with the literacy levels so that they mitigate the other areas of disability and disadvantage. And that's why we...
More than 60% drop out before the end of the term. Why do they drop out? One of the very, very critical and major factors is that there are no people, the skilled personnel to to manage these children. People do not understand them. An autistic child is coming and doesn't want to see everybody, and the teacher, because they don't know, they're slapping the child, they're sending the child out of the class, just because that they think this child is still having a change, or in my language and the Bantu language, a change, you know, change.
The basic education problem in Uganda is really challenging. It is one thing. Now, when it comes to the children with special needs, they are already disadvantaged. They again find the system which needs support as well. So that is what we call double tragedy. And we said here, look, while we are going to focus on empowering teachers of mainstream, we must be seen and we must do everything in our humble means to see ourselves as well empower teachers of children with special needs to go and help us address the problem that I've talked about, the double tragedy.
Why?
UBC Lunchtime News. Makerere University, in collaboration with Indian University, has organized a 2-day workshop on long-term assistance and services for research. Partners from university-led solutions engine Lesser Pulse, with focus on university research engagement capacity, strengthening funded by USAID. The meeting aims at improving and strengthening higher education partnerships and transnational relationships to become central actors in development.
Research is an important component for development and addressing global challenges. It is against this backdrop that Makerere University, Indiana University, with funds from USAID, organized a workshop under the theme University Research Engagement Capacity Strengthening that builds on the experience of long-term assistance and services for research. Partners for university-led solutions engine Lesser Plus and its consortium member institutions in the United States and Africa. In the speech by Barnabas Nawangwe, the Vice-Chancellor, Makerere University, read by Professor Henry Arinoite, the Acting Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Finance and Administration, noted that there is an increase in the demand on universities, particularly in Africa, to take lead in offering solutions for development in their communities.
The government of Uganda committed to put equivalent of $8 million every year in research. And I want us to clap for Professor Valuation for championing that initiative. And the government is now promising even to increase. If we can show, if we can demonstrate that we are influencing for society, that we are impacting, and also commercializing some of the products that we research on, and there's a great impact, then we can have more funding from government.
Research is the way to go. If research and researchers were not there, COVID would have finished this whole world. But research has moved very fast, and we found solutions. We had Ebola here. Researchers have moved very fast. Now there has been Marburg in Tanzania. You would wish to know that our researchers in Uganda participated in Marburg research in Tanzania, and we have found a solution together with the Tanzanian researchers, and advised the government how to move. So research is the way to go. But most important, we do this research with our partners. We look at our partners as valuable. And our partners are the US institutions, higher education institutions, including the development partners. We cannot do without them.
The mission director, USAID, noted that research is capable of multiplying the impact of USAID investments through employment-oriented teaching and learning, problem-solving knowledge, and technology generation and dissemination.
But there's also, with the technical experts that we have, there's always a desire to do more, to have more information. And so we often will engage in further research to understand better the problems that we're facing and how best we can address those.
Right now we have a lot of issues, for example, around the environment and how we manage it and how that impacts health in terms of disease outbreaks, in terms of what we eat and how healthy it is. We need to do more research in some of these areas to see whether it's exposing us disease, and in fact perhaps driving some of the increasing burden of diseases like the cancers could be coming from some of the issues we eat and the air we breathe and the exposures.
The Laser Plus Consortium workshop brought together researchers, academia, communities, policymakers, educationists and development partners geared at showcasing effort towards strengthening research leadership and management. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Yes, here comes a short break. Let's enjoy it and have more on return.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
10 years of supporting health in Uganda. This year, the Kabaka Birthday Run will mark its 10-year anniversary on Sunday, 16th April at Lubidi, starting 7 a.m. and continue the fight to end AIDS by 2030. Buy your running kit today at 20,000 shillings from Airtel shops, Benchuanuka, Fubani, New Taxi Pack, or Majestic Brands office in Bulangi Mango. You can also pay using Airtel Money. Dial *185 *5#. Kits purchased using Airtel Money shall be picked from Airtel Wampe or Shop. Paul is sponsored by.
This is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100 *1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's the encounters with our majestic gorillas. The thrill of taking on the falls of the Nile River. The joy of discovering new traditions and a lot more. Join us at the 2023 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo from the 26th to the 29th of April at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo. Rediscover our country's uniqueness and see what the tourism sector has in store for you. Visit www.poate.co.ug to secure your spot and get set to learn, network and explore. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board in partnership with Competitiveness and Enterprise Development Projects. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Uganda Network of AIDS Service Organization is to coordinate civil society organizations in various regions to link up with the Uganda AIDS Commission to align with the National Strategic Plan. The Secretary General of the UNASO, Kennedy Otundo, says that 14 entities of key population have been consulted and are being used to generate the National Global Fund. He made the remarks in a meeting with members of the different civil society organizations.
Uganda Network of AIDS Service Organization has profiled civil society organizations in the country involved in HIV/AIDS to be able to fit in the Uganda AIDS Commission strategic framework. The Secretary General UNASO, Kennedy Otundo, says this will enable the Commission to get information to know the status of civil society organizations in the fight against HIV.
We are able to disseminate all the regulations that are required by NGO board, and so that we can create an environment for young NGOs that are coming on board to know what is required and be able to fit the requirement and register the organization so that it can be formally accepted to operate in the country. So as we speak now, over 450 NGOs have already registered in the web-based reporting tool. So UNASO will be able to consolidate this report every quarter and submit to Uganda AIDS Commission, so that Uganda Commission can consolidate a report and share it with the Parliament and the government of Uganda, and be able to use the report to make the next strategic plan to eliminate HIV in the country. Yeah.
Otundo says UNASO was affected by COVID-19, which saw a shift of the donors and difficulty for patients to access drugs and medication due to restriction in movement.
And here we are thinking of requesting the government to come up with the digital policy where at least women and the young girls in more risky areas, they're able to access phones, internet, and able to catch up in case there's a restriction in movement. The cost of the phone, the cost of the internet is slightly lower, and we can use the online system to reach these people. We can use online system to do counseling, online system to report the medical complication and follow up at the end or loss to follow up. So the government, we need just them to change their policy on the digital and lower the cost and maybe improve access. Also literacy, education on drugs and so on using the online. I think that could be the best option.
The board chairperson, Uganda Network of AIDS Service Organizations, Salome Atim, says there is need for more sensitization about treatment literacy.
We still need individuals enlightened about how to use drugs. We don't want people picking drugs before they confirm maybe they have malaria and then they take this medication. So we need a lot of treatment literacy in our constituencies and our communities, so that the medicines we advocate for everybody to have do not become disastrous.
An estimated 1.5 million Ugandans are said to be living with HIV/AIDS, with 90% people having their HIV sustained in the body.
We've noted that some of the challenges, especially around men, the enrollment of art on men on art is extremely very low in some areas compared to the women. And we know that that has been mainly a part because women have better health-seeking behaviors compared to men.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The Ugandan National Services Bureau Uganda National Registration Services Bureau donated a mobile ultrasound scan machine to Kawempe National Referral Hospital in support of the government's effort to improve maternal health and child health in the country.
Health services delivery at Kawempe Hospital have reportedly been affected by inadequate medical equipment. Supplementing the existing equipment is expected to improve service delivery as it reduces the time patients spend in queues.
We felt that we should support with equipment that helps in enabling mothers to give birth, especially in this drive to prevent the maternal death, which is a challenge within our society.
This is a mobile scan. We had earlier on one mobile scan, but that also had the issues. It had broken down. So now that we have this handy mobile ultrasound scan, and like I said, latest technology, it will move a long way in helping us having the clinicians quickly attend to patients who can't access your department.
Some of the leading causes of maternal death at the hospital include inadequate and frequent breakdown of equipment, hemorrhage, high blood pressure, and infections that are preventable.
Because of the large number of patients we handle, there's a frequent breakdown of equipment, and the government alone may not be able to provide this equipment. Secondly, even maintenance is a problem because the money we are given for maintenance is usually not adequate. So this donation has been timely, and we thank URSB very much.
Some patients at Kawempe Hospital commented on some of the services offered at the referral facility.
Service nungi kuba balina ke abafa ku bantu abawo budde ne babafaako ne bakubira ku baana omwana ali atya buli kimu.
Yes, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in close collaboration with Kampala Capital City Authority, have decried the increasing number of street children. This worrying trend is rampant, especially in the Kampala Central Business Area.
City Authority leaders have marked International Children's Day with a renewed resolve to get children off the town streets.
April is the International Day for Street Children, and as the Kampala Capital City Authority, we we are very privileged to be a part of the communication about children on the day like this today. We have an agenda that we follow as a Kampala Capital City Authority. The agenda is about the smart city. It's called the smart agenda. This agenda basically has three approaches: the approach of technology, the approach of infrastructure, and the approach of people well-being. And street children basically fall into the area of people well-being. Street children are actually labeled street children, but in technical terms we know them as disadvantaged urban out of school children. They are disadvantaged urban out of school children. These children don't only come on the street because they are coming from orphanages or they are orphaned. Some of them come from fully fledged homes with parents, with biological mothers and fathers. And there are many factors that pull or push the children to go to the streets. Factors like domestic violence amongst the family members or amongst the parents.
Leaders advise parents to emphasize a good upbringing of children, provision of basic needs, and education to tackle the street children problem.
This was a resettlement program where we had 117 children who were in the rehabilitation center of Masulita, resettled back to the district of Napak. And Masulita is basically a rehabilitation center of an NGO called the UBC, Uganda Women's Effort to Save Orphans, where we take the children, rescue the children off the street.
A number of children have reportedly been rehabilitated at some centers around the country and are being reunited with their families. Some of these children, who are mostly orphans, have been equipped with technical skills to help them earn a living and later integrate into their communities. Uganda has an estimated 10,278 street children, an upward trend registered in recent years due to an increase of orphans and high poverty levels in the country.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera, refrain from unnecessary engagement with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Yokato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
We thank you so much for watching. Now, talking business, Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives Francis Mwebesa has commended the Indian community for fostering economic transformation in the country. The Indian Foreign Minister promised more investment promotion among other commercial industrial development, education, health, tourism, and ordinary effective digitization. This was during a 3-day visit to the country by the Indian Foreign Minister, Dr. Jaishankar. Indian businesses contribute 65% of Uganda's tax revenue.
I'm happy to note that the Indian businesses contribute over 65% of Uganda's tax revenue. The government of India has continuously offered scholarship to Ugandans to enable them to pursue undergraduate, postgraduate research programs in India. Uptake is but university have also brought Indian education closer to Uganda. In 2017, medicines worth 1.6 million and equipment worth 1 million were handed over to the government of Uganda by the Indian High Commissioner. Today there are more Indians in Uganda who are dealing in the charity work and medical areas. Thanks a lot for such a gesture. There are over 30,000 Indians living in Uganda who play a leading role in Uganda's economy, especially in manufacturing, agro-processing, banking, real estate, hotels, tourism, among others.
At the end of the day, governments may have a lot of goodwill for each other. We may reach, every visit has nice sounding outcomes and good communiques, but finally where the rubber hits the road, it's all about business. Good relationships, strong relationships need in some form or the other to reflect that in terms of numbers. So a large part of my endeavors during this visit and when I go back to India would really be to see how is it that we can expand those numbers, what are the new opportunities that are coming up.
That brings us to the end of all we had for you this lunchtime. Thank you so much for watching, but Newsroom is still at work. We'll have more news for you here in Luganda, Kiswahili, and I'll be here myself for news tonight in the English language. For now, enjoy your lunch, keep it with us. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Commissioner General of Prisons, with deep sorrow, announces the untimely death of Katunje Moses, retired Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, which occurred on Wednesday, 12th April 2023 at Kampala Hospital. There will be a vigil at his residence tonight at Chitukutwe, Kira Municipality, Wakiso District. Thereafter, the body shall be transported to his home village on Friday, 14th April 2023, and burial shall be on Saturday, 15th April 2023 at ancestral home at Kanyabwanga, Kashenshero, Mitoma District. Informed are His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Head of Public Service, Secretary to Cabinet, the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, State Minister, Internal Affairs, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Internal Affairs,